That could be a coin. Even there's some iron. But it's very deep.
This field seems to be ordinary. It is not even eye-catching, but the history behind this land and inside it attracts amateur archaeologists, whose life combine daily routine with dive into history. René Jannes Leuchuk is a retired officer. His relationship with archaeology has started 30 years ago and changed his life.
My friends in the old day, when I was younger, when I was a baby, they always fight like cowboys and Indians, and I always wanted to be a Viking. So it has always had my interest about the older things. And then I was in the museum and I saw all the cool stuff they had from the Bronze Age, the Stone Age, and it made me excited. And I said, oh, I would love to find something like this. And now we have the chance with the metal detectors, and the metal detector have been for around 40 years now, and I started 30 years ago. So
René feels happy searching. For him, there are no meaningless finds. The first time he tried detecting, he didn't find anything special, but that never made him sad.
Oh, I found a lot of bottles, bottle caps and stuff like that, and ring pulls, and I didn't find anything good, but it was exciting because the sound of the machine, it said, wait, and yeah, there was something there. Dig down and, oh shit, bottle cap, and down in the pocket. But my first real coin find, that was not in Denmark, that was in Scotland. I found a Roman coin. I was around 25 years old when I found my first Roman coin. I was excited, I was jumping around the field with my hands over my head and screaming and yelling, and I had a good time. I didn't even want to go excavating anymore because I already found what I needed to find. So I was very happy, I was jumping around in joy, and that was a very excitement to find a Roman silver coin.
A stone axe from the Bronze Age is an artifact René is especially fond of. He is happy to keep it in his own collection, since the Danish law allows that.
That's the oldest thing I have ever found, so I'm quite proud of it. And when I put it up on our detector site, they always get envy and say, oh, we always want to find something like this, and because you don't find them with the detector. I found this one here in a funny way. I was having a good target and I dig down and I had a coin. And I said, whoa, and I had a big lump of clay, and I said, okay, I always check up the clay, and if it's a big lump, to see if there's something inside of it. And there it was hiding inside the clay I already digged up. If I haven't checked it, I would have passed it and never found it. And I'm proud to have it because I can keep this here one forever.
René spends literally all his time in the field, detecting every day, from early morning till late evening, and sometimes finishes work at midnight. Exploration of history is more than a hobby for him.
For me, history is like alcohol. The more history I can get in, the better I feel, the more happy I am. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going detecting. For me, it's more like a good day out on the field. I get fresh air, I get exercise, I get away from home. I don't sit on at the computer or stuff like that. I get out, having a good time. Hopefully I find something. Sometimes I don't find something, but it's okay. Every day is a good day for me anyway. There's a lot of positivity, not just going out to find something valuable. If you do it for only to go out and find valuables, you shouldn't do detecting. There you see, I told you it's garbage. But that's what I told you about this silver paper they use when they have their lunch without, and they just call it together and then throw it outside the tractor or stuff like that. So, garbage. pure garbage. But it still tells the history that they eat the lunch outside, they don't drive home to get their food, so it's a part of the history.
Jesper Hansen is also a detectorist. His interest to search for artifacts led him to open his own detector shop. That's how a hobby turned into official job.
I didn't have a dream of becoming an archaeologist. It's funny to find things that people have lost. That's how it started for me. Finding typically coins at the beaches and jewelry, and then I started to search at the fields, and at the fields you can find older stuff than at the beaches, and little by little I got into it.
Unfortunately, Jesper doesn't have enough time to go out in the field often these days. He's quite busy with his shop, but he manages to contribute something to the history exploration.
Maybe at this time I go maybe 10 times a year. It has decreased a lot because I don't have time. I do all what I can to make great service to the customers, and often they tell me that they are really happy with the service I give them. So that's one of the goals of the daily work. I would like someday to make the shop bigger by selling more professional equipment for not for detectorists but for the industry.
And the professionals appreciate amateurs' contribution. Søren Andersen from Musgård Museum says there is a long history of professionals and amateurs working together.
Here in Denmark we have a very, very long tradition of a very close and very fruitful cooperation between amateur archaeologists and professional archaeologists. So that is a very good and very, as I just said, a very fruitful collaboration and working together. So amateurs here in Denmark have helped the professional, the system, the archaeological system as such, the museum system, with finding things in the fields, reporting that to the museums, and then because of this active involvement in archaeologists, we have got a lot of very, very essential finds and excavations based on amateurs' work in the field. Oh, it's a very good example of this good collaboration which I talked about between amateurs and professional archaeologists. This silver cauldron was found during Pitecken, and this is really a unique find in whole Europe.
In this collaboration between amateurs and professionals, both sides have benefits. There are certain rules that determine the reward amateurs get for their discoveries. Some artifacts can even stay in their finders' personal collections.
If you find special kind of metal that are considered to be extraordinary, then you will get some money from the state as a compensation. It's called danefæ, and it depends on what kind of things you have found, how much money you get, but that's a special kind of arrangement, and we don't do it here at the museum. When detector people are coming here with their objects, we send them to the National Museum in Copenhagen, and then they do the evaluation.
That's a very old coin. It can even be a Roman coin. And it's very old because you can almost not see anything on it. So we actually got a target now. We have a coin. Great. And hopefully an old coin.
Professor Andres Dobot from Aarhus University thinks very positively of amateurs' help in the research of history.
I think they have a very high credibility, and they have that because there is a very long and time-honored tradition for amateur archaeology in Denmark. It's basically amateurs who started archaeology in Denmark back in the 19th century, before it became professional discipline, so to say, taught at universities and with official institutions like museums, cultural agency, which is the head of all archaeological work in Denmark, basically. And that, in a way, has created a very special attitude to amateur archaeology, which has lasted until today.
Now I'll see if I can clean it just a little bit, get some of the earth off it. Just pure water, and you're not allowed to touch with your fingers. You're just allowed to do like this and get as much off you can. So the museum get this one, and they can try to find out more about this, what it is. So, I have a little coin. One more for the collection. And if it's not DMJX, I get it back. If you say it's not a Roman coin, then it's my coin.